AEW just revealed a groundbreaking announcement, one that is really massive, and it looks like they beat WWE to the punch, which some people are really excited about. Some people aren't excited about it, but I'm excited about it, so we're going to talk about it. And of course, WWE, Nick Khan, publicly speaking about signing more AEW stars. We got to talk about that and the shots that he threw at Tony Khan. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about some top departures from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Things are going downhill in NJPW fast. Where are they expected to sign? Spoiler alert, not AEW. It's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. All right, guys, I want to kick things off with letting you know, go ahead and click subscribe. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Let's talk about it. Naito and Bushi are leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was announced earlier this morning on Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, that Naito is departing from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's also being said that Bushi is gone from the company as well. Fightful Select has then reported that Naito and New Japan had been at an impasse regarding potential contract extensions. If you guys didn't know, there was a situation where he was basically working with New Japan without a contract. It was not a joke at all, to be honest. It's like very real. Now, with that being said, in recent years, we all know that Naito's quality of work has gone down. His in-ring work isn't the same as it was before. And actually, what's even more interesting is back in 2018, WWE wanted Naito, but he apparently turned down the offer. Now, what's really interesting is he's not expected to go to AEW after finishing up with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he will be free and clear early May of 2025. Fightful did say that it was said that maybe he could return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. But what's even crazier, too, is Bushi is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. So now we don't know if Naito and Bushi are going to be in similar situations where potentially they go back to New Japan, but as of right now, that's not expected. Now, in my personal belief, Naito would not bring any value to WWE or AEW in 2025. And I know some people may not want to hear that. I respect Naito. I think he's a great talent. Obviously, in my eyes, I view him as a legend, and historically speaking, he was always great. But, you know, injuries happen, in-ring work quality gets down. I'm not really interested in seeing him come to WWE. Bushi, on the other hand, is somebody I think who could thrive very well in AEW or WWE. And you know, making that move to America to possibly pursue that could be in the cards. But for New Japan Pro Wrestling, I do think it is very worrisome. A lot of guys are working without contracts. A lot of their top guys have left for AEW. The company is going downhill relatively fast. And I don't know if that partnership with AEW has truly benefited them, but it is something worth talking about. That brings us to our next topic, Nick Khan throwing shots at Tony Khan, and he's making it really, really clear that he expects a number of AEW wrestlers to jump ship to WWE once their contracts expire with AEW. He said this on the Bill Simmons podcast. He goes, in terms of the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers, and we're happy about that. When contractually they are available to talk and to have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. Nothing but respect to the father who finances it and owns the Jaguars and all of those other things. So he is very well taking shots at Tony Khan. It is very well known that Shad Khan has allowed Tony Khan to go into this endeavor. Some people feel like this is petty. I think Nick Khan is relatively quiet. Nick Khan does not relatively talk about anything about AEW. But if you go back in time when Tony Khan was very, very vocal about there only being one Khan in the wrestling business, you know, obviously Nick Khan really strayed away from that. He didn't really take shots at that. But this is interesting. This is an interesting approach to hear Nick Khan talk about signing more AEW stars and being happy about them. You know, I think it's the right thing, man. Somebody said it to me the other day. AEW is developmental for WWE now, and WWE doesn't have to pay them until they're ready to. With stories coming out like Mariah May is, you know, she's looking at potentially coming to WWE. We saw Lexis King, Brian Pillman Jr., right? We saw Ricky, we saw Ethan, we saw Jade, we saw Sean Spears come back to WWE. You're seeing an influx of AEW talent leaving the company and going to WWE. And the reality is, you know, WWE will have to make room for these people. There will be cuts of some kind, right? If you're trying to include more and more to your roster, I can't imagine WWE just adding a whole bunch of people and not releasing people, which is the unfortunate aspect of things. Because I'm not a big fan of the releases, but I think when you look at WWE and their strategy, it makes sense, right? There is zero risk for somebody going to AEW and showcasing their talent to the world and building up value, and then WWE bringing them in. And this is the same thing even with Mariah May. Mariah May leaving the company potentially to go to WWE. She could have gone to WWE first and maybe floundered around doing nothing backstage, but she went to AEW. She showed her value, and apparently it was her dream to go to WWE this entire time. Well, for WWE, when those contract talks happen, yeah, they're going to have to pay a lot more money, but it's going to be worth it in the long run if you're looking at quality of talent. So sometimes it just makes a lot of sense, but we'll see what happens there. Nick Khan is not shying away from it, and obviously those shots at Tony Khan, he's not even acknowledging Tony Khan, which is crazy. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. AEW has made a massive announcement. It is official. AEW Grand Slam Mexico will take place at the historic Arena Mexico on June 18th, 2025. It's going to be on a Wednesday. They've announced their partnership with CMLL to bring AEW Grand Slam Mexico to Mexico in Arena Mexico. This will be the first time that AEW has ever held an event in Mexico. The tickets will go on sale April 26th at 10 a.m. This special episode of Dynamite will air live on TBS as well as Fox Sports Mexico, and it will stream live on Max. Now, this is a big deal. People might try to act like it's not a big deal. It's not a massive deal. But for AEW, this is the first time that they go to Mexico. And this is something that, we've been hearing about WWE trying to bring an event to Mexico and PLE to Mexico. There was even rumors that WWE might try to go to Arena Mexico. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously. But with AEW having this partnership with CMLL and being able to go out there, I think it's a massive win for AEW. Now, when I talked about them going and doing Grand Slam Australia, that was also a massive deal to me. And I do feel like they really, really butchered that and screwed that up. So I'm really, really hoping that maybe they learned a little bit from that and it won't be an issue this time around, because I do think there's a lot of great things that can happen from bringing AEW to Mexico. So shout out to AEW for this. I think it's a good move. I would like to see them represent their luchadors a little bit better on television. But for now, this is a great move for the company. And, as they get closer and closer to All In July, doing these kind of events can make TV feel a little bit more important, which I think is obviously better in the grand scheme of things. So I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah, who really knows? Obviously, it's up to AEW to book a great show, but we'll see what the ticket sales look like and if this is going to be a success or not. I'm curious. So let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching the Ango Show.